What's going on, guys? What's happening? I hope you guys are having a good night. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Now, some of you saw this great performance by Tom Brady tonight. I'm a football fan, and I watched the game. I watched the game intensely. I enjoyed it. But I saw something online, and my friend Willie D shared something that really got my wheels spinning, and it was a comparison between Tom Brady and Muhammad Ali, and basically asking if Tom Brady was greater than Muhammad Ali. So what I'm going to do here on the Black Financial Channel or in Dr. Boyce TV is explain to you very quickly why that debate needs to end and why Tom Brady can't compare to Muhammad Ali. He can't hold his jockstrap, and I'm going to break it down and explain to you why in 1 second. So buckle up your seatbelt, get comfortable. We're going to get started now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Now, Tom Brady is a great athlete. Tom Brady did something pretty amazing tonight. He was able to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Super Bowl, which I'm a football fan. I follow this stuff. And if you follow it, it was pretty extraordinary to watch. I've been watching Tampa since the beginning of the season, particularly since Brady left the New England Patriots. I didn't understand why. I couldn't understand whatever business decision that was made. I just don't get it. I don't know why they didn't want to give him his money. The man was able to win Super Bowls with inferior talent, and they let him go. And so the Patriots went down to the toilet, and the Buccaneers actually got back to the Super Bowl for the first time in, I think, about 20 years. So Tom Brady is amazing. Tom Brady, as far as football players go, is unstoppable, unbelievable, extraordinary, and amazing. Now, here's the interesting thing. I saw somebody comparing Tom Brady to Muhammad Ali, and I got a little bit. I took that a little bit personal because I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, home of Breonna Taylor and Muhammad Ali, and I couldn't understand that comparison. Let me tell you why Tom Brady will never compare to Muhammad Ali. The reason that Tom Brady can't compare to Muhammad Ali is for the same reason that Michael Jordan could not compare to Muhammad Ali. Because here's the deal: if you look at straight athletic accomplishment, I'm going to argue actually that Brady and Jordan both surpassed Ali. I think that don't get me wrong, Ali did some amazing things when he went back and beat George Foreman, after, toward later on in his career when nobody thought he could do it. That was amazing. The battles with Joe Frazier, amazing. Muhammad Ali was the man in so many ways. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, all that. But don't forget, Ali could not fight during the peak of his career. I mean, I think he's in his late 20s, which is when a man is at his physical peak. He was literally put on the sidelines for all that time because he was fighting a different battle. He was fighting a bigger battle. He's fighting against the United States government. He was fighting against racism. So Ali was fighting a battle that Michael Jordan never had to fight. He was fighting a battle that Tom Brady has never had to fight. Muhammad Ali was in a situation where he could have lost his freedom. And he took that fight head on. He didn't back down. He didn't walk away. He didn't get scared. He didn't fold. He didn't waffle. So it is because of that Ali actually skipped the line. Ali transcends all these other athletes. Ali was a guy who meant more to the world than just sports. So if you want to just compare athletic accomplishment, who has the most championships, who scored the most points, who did the most whatever, I think that you can make you can make an argument to say that Brady and Jordan surpassed Ali. But check this out. When Sports Illustrated did a comparison, when they did a vote and they said, who's the greatest athlete of the 20th century, Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali? Muhammad Ali won, and it was a landslide. It wasn't even close. He blew him away. Why is that? Is it because Jordan needed 2 more championships? Would that have done it? No, it wouldn't have done it. Is it because Jordan needed to average more points? No. Because the thing is, Jordan could have won 1 million championships and scored 1 billion points a game, and he still wouldn't be a Muhammad Ali because Muhammad Ali was an athlete who transcended sports. He was playing on a level all by himself. He took it to a different playing. He saw his influence around the world to be something greater than just how many people can I knock out today. If you look at when he went to Africa and he was fighting against George Foreman, and he got the whole crowd saying Ali Boumaye, Ali Boumaye, and he was there and he was running with the little children and saying, I got the whole continent of Africa behind my back and I'm with my people. I mean, that's special. Like, that's deeper than just scoring a touchdown or dunking a basketball. And so when people try to compare Tom Brady and Muhammad Ali, that really is that's like comparing apples and fruit salad. Or apples in a whole smorgasbord, or comparing oranges and a buffet. Like, Ali was much more than just one piece of fruit. Ali was much more than just one apple, or the best apple. Ali was the whole damn orchard. He was a whole garden. He was a whole spread of possibility that existed for people that went far beyond just sports. So if you're comparing Ali and Brady, and you talk straight sports, or Brady and Jordan. I mean, I think that there's a reason. I think there's a legitimate comparison. I mean, Tom Brady's amazing. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know if y'all follow football, but I'm telling you, Tom Brady is a bad boy. I mean, seriously, can we at least give him that? He's probably my favorite white guy. I ain't gonna lie. Tom Brady is 43 years old. He just took this really mediocre team. They were really bad last year, and he got them all the way to the Super Bowl. I thought that was pretty amazing. He deserves all the credit in the world for that, but he's not a Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali was in a whole different stratosphere. And so that's what I just wanted to kind of share when people make these, Tom Brady, Muhammad Ali comparisons. Compare him to Jordan. I think he could compare to Jordan. I mean, Brady's done it. I mean, I don't know how many Super Bowls he'd have to win to do that, but I mean, he's been pretty unbelievable. I mean, I don't think any NFL player has come close to doing what Brady did. I think Jim Brown could have done it if Jim Brown had kept playing, but Jim Brown left his career early because of the racism. He's a strong black man. He didn't let anybody kind of kick him around. And the other thing too is now some people are asking me, do you watch football, and why do you watch football? Why aren't you boycotting the NFL? I'm not boycotting the NFL because I never felt that Colin Kaepernick's movement was going to be beneficial to the black community. I felt like he was trying to do the right thing. But I felt like it wasn't going to make a difference. Kaepernick's dispute with the NFL, it made me feel the way I felt when I watched Byron Allen fight with Comcast and make that into a big racial issue. I said, no, that's an employment dispute. You're just mad at your boss because they fired you because you didn't want to do your job. And it's okay for you to make your decision not to do that. But I don't really see how me boycotting the NFL is going to end police brutality in America. I don't. I just never saw that connection. I did not understand how those two would be connected. Now, Jackson says you definitely don't know football if you said they're a mediocre team. I'm going to tell you, man, I'm going to have to disagree with you, Jackson. I saw Jameis Winston. I was cheering for him. But Jameis Winston, as talented as he is, that team was going nowhere. That's why if he was really that great, he'd still be with the Buccaneers. He wouldn't be trying to play backup at the Saints. So I hate saying it. Let me see, what was Tampa Bay's record last year? Let me see. If their record was a winning record, then maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Tampa Bay. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done it yet. Tampa Bay Buccaneers record last year. Let's see. Okay, so for the 2021 season, they're 11-5. Okay, what were they for last year? Let me see what their last year record was. In fact, I'm gonna get a year by year. Let's do a year by year chart, and let's see what we can say we said we saw. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I only see 2018. They were 5-11. Okay, last year they were 7-9. 7-9. Jackson, if you think 7-9 is a good team, I don't know how to I don't know how to break it to you, homeboy, but that's not a great team. And I know, Jameis. Okay, Jameis led the league in touchdowns. I'm not going to talk bad about a black quarterback, but I'm going to say Jameis Winston is not one of our best black quarterbacks. The best black quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. You've also got your boy Russell Wilson out of Seattle. You've got a great black quarterback, Lamar Jackson, my boy from Louisville, my home city. He's killing the game. You got a lot of other great black quarterbacks. Haskins, I didn't understand Haskins a little bit because Dwayne Haskins played for the Redskins, and he played for my Ohio State Buckeyes. I went to Ohio State. That's where I got my PhD. And I was real disappointed and kind of surprised when he had that whole issue with being in the strip club without the mask on. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm not going to say that he didn't deserve his opportunity, but I think that there are some organizations that are hard to win for. I really do. I remember Michael Jordan got into a back and forth with the Chicago Bulls because I think the owner or something said, organizations win championships, and Michael Jordan was like, well, organizations don't score points. Yeah, but you need organizations though. Like it was a partnership. The organization went and got the help you needed to finally win a championship. Remember, before the organization went out and got certain players, Jordan wouldn't win anything. And Washington, the teams I would hate to play for if I was in the NFL, this is just football talk. What's fuck? Let's just do some football talk. Excuse me. The teams I would never want to play for are the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Washington Redskins, and the New York Jets, and also to some extent the Dallas Cowboys. Those are teams that all seem to find a way to lose. I've never really seen anybody really be able to do much of anything with the Redskins. So I feel like Haskins was in a bad situation. Same thing with Cam Newton. I feel like Cam Newton was thrown into a weird situation. If you know white boys in Boston, they're already almost pretty racist anyway, right? They already don't like black people. Now, I don't care much about racism, to be honest with you, because I ain't going to pretend like I love white people. I don't hate them. I just don't. I love black people. That's it. And if I have a choice between having black people in the room or white people in the room, I'd rather have black people in the room. So the same way I can criticize them for not wanting me in the room, they can criticize me for not wanting them in the room. So I don't get offended if people don't like me. My mama likes me. I like me. My woman likes me. My community likes me. That's all I need. I don't need white people to love me for me to feel like I'm okay as a black man. So I just want you to know I'm not going to get with you on the racism conversation. Like, I just don't give a shit. But if you talk about New England, you are talking about a place where they got those weird, rough, like white boys that can, barely spell their name or whatever. And they were all, and Tom Brady's like their daddy. Like, they love him to death. And so when Brady left, they're already upset that Brady's gone. And then Cam Newton comes in and he's like showing up the games like in leather pants and outfits that look almost like skirts or something. I don't know, dressing like a feminine pimp. I don't know what his outfits were. Like, some of his outfits were kind of crazy. And so to me, if you're wearing those outfits and you consider that to be your swag, you better be winning. If you're not winning, then you're gonna have a hard time let me just show you. I mean, this man got bonnets on his head. I'm gonna just share my screen so y'all don't think I'm just hating on a black man. I got to be honest. I got to do that. I'm sorry. Check this. Look at this. I mean, what is this? Like what is that? What is that? Are you Rosa Parks? Like what is happening there? Now this, okay, whatever. That's a pimp hat. The little scarf, I don't get that. It reminds me of like the gay Boy Scouts. I think that's what I'm seeing right here. That's the gay Boy Scout. That looks almost a lot like a dress. I don't think it's a dress, but I don't know what it is, but it looks almost like a dress. He's like an inch away from being built, the football version of Billy Porter. Like, I mean, if you just look, I'm not dissing it, right? I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all right now. This is football talk. We're just having some fun right now. But I just think that if you dress like that, you better win. If you're not winning and you're playing in New England and you're dressing like that and you're losing, they're gonna not be happy about that. I feel like Cam got put in a tough situation because New England never had good wide receivers anyway. I'm surprised Brady was able to win with those wide receivers because they're just not that good. But yeah, I feel like that was a tough situation for Cam. I wouldn't have wanted to go in that situation at all. But then again, I guess you take whatever opportunity you can get. I don't know. So anyway, so let's get back to that whole conversation about Brady versus Ali. I don't think there's any comparison. Ali transcends sports. He plays on level 2, and on level 2, he's all by himself. All the other athletes are on level 1. They can be the best at level 1. Ali was a guy that was much more than just an athlete to the world, and that's why he's special. And again, in terms of the NFL protesting Kaepernick, I think a lot of that is silly, to be honest with you, because I think that black men by now should have our own sports league. Ice Cube started the Big Three. Ice Cube doesn't even play basketball, and he started a basketball league. I don't understand why multimillionaire athletes that have all kinds of wealthy friends can't start their own league and have their own media and film the games and put them on social media and then go get corporate sponsors or sell merch or whatever to make revenue from them. I just don't get it. So honestly, the Jay-Z versus Kaepernick thing, it kind of bored me. I'm not interested in seeing black people fight over crumbs. That's not interesting to me. Also, I think Jay-Z's positioning in the NFL, it hasn't been impressive to me either. I haven't seen anything change with the NFL. It's like the NFL just kind of pushed it under the rug. Like there were big controversies last year at this time that kind of went away with the NFL. They're real slick with it. Like for a couple that came to mind. One was Antonio Brown. I thought it was amazing how Antonio Brown just kind of slid back into the league. Like last year, everybody was talking about Antonio Brown, and now no one's talking about the drama from last year. I'm happy for him, though. I think that's good for him. But it's real interesting, right? Same thing. You got your boy Tyreek Hill with the Kansas City Chiefs. He had that crazy domestic violence situation. You remember that. And now Tyreek Hill is the hero again, right? Because they just kept quiet. They didn't talk about it. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Honestly, I don't because I when it comes to things like that, I don't get into he say, she say. I need to know what the evidence is, right? If there's evidence that he's doing something that should cost him his job, I get that. But I think that when you penalize a guy and take away his whole career because of an accusation or because of one incident, I'm not a fan of that. Like, for example, Ray Rice. I feel like Ray Rice got a raw deal because Ray Rice should have got a 1-year suspension and then been allowed to go make a living, especially when he has the support of his wife. And the fact that they never let him come back, the fact that they stole his whole career from him, it still bothers me. I think that was wrong. I think that they should have probably checked him for brain damage because remember, the NFL, most of those guys have brain damage. So they're taking all these hits to the head. They're going to end up, a lot of them, can't control certain parts of their behavior. So I think also, though, maybe some therapy, counseling, medication. His wife was supporting him. I think he should have had a chance to redeem himself because the kid was 27 years old. Like 27 years old is a time where you can make mistakes. And I don't think those mistakes should all be lifetime sentences for your whole career and everything else. I think that's wrong. But with that said, though, the NFL is just pretty slick with it. Last year, it was all Jay-Z, Kaepernick, and all this, public talk. Jay-Z's kind of faded into the background. He's just getting a little check from the NFL. I've seen nothing that Jay has created in the NFL that is moving the needle on like relevant issues for the black community. A lot of what they tend to feed black folks is very symbolic and stupid and nonsensical. Like we're all going to wear a Black Lives Matter T-shirt or something like that. And I just don't see them. I just don't see them do much of anything. Now let's see. Isaiah Thomas owned what is now the NBA G League. He then sold it to be the NBA. Okay, I didn't know about that, but good for him. But I mean, what's the point in owning something if you're just gonna sell it? If you're just raising your chickens so you can give them to KFC, then you're not really a chicken owner. You don't love that chicken. You're just trying to get paid. So ownership is something that I think we have to think about. I think that we don't value ownership enough as a community. And, remember the Chicago Bears were purchased for $500. They're now worth about $3.5 billion. And so, having the vision to actually own and create something of your own can go a real long way. So let me see here. Let's see. Chaz says, just like your words. Okay. Looks like Chaz fighting with somebody. They have a phone call to Tyreek Hill threatening his wife. Ray Rice was used as an example. Very unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, I think Tyreek Hill, I think some disciplinary action could be called for, but taking away his ability to earn a living, I don't get it. I don't like that. Do you think one of the Manning boys put his balls on a female doctor's head? If there's proof, then that's a problem. But if it's just an accusation, I'm sorry. I'm not a person that just goes for accusations. Like if you just tell me that you heard somebody did something, I don't consider that to be actual evidence. And I think that it'd be one thing if you just said, okay, we're going to suspend this person for a while. That's one thing. But if you say, I'm going to destroy this person, take away all their money, put them in jail, take away their career, then you got to have some fucking evidence. If you have no evidence, then fuck you. Like, seriously, you can't go around just destroying black men's lives because somebody said that they did something and you can't prove it. That's anybody who thinks that makes sense is out of their damn mind. There are a lot of things you don't know about. Okay, I agree, Chad. I don't know everything. I don't know very much at all. I agree. Timothy, being black has brain damage or NFL keeps nothing done. The NFL, they're dealing with the CTE issue the best they can, I think. But, you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar situation. And, at this point, the public's been made aware of CTE. They've been made aware that it's a risk. And my thought is that if you still choose to pursue and play that sport, knowing the risk, then who am I to tell you that you can't do that? People make decisions that take risk all the time. When a soldier signs up for the fucking military, there's a risk that you're going to get your goddamn head blown off. Seriously, like, stop it. Seriously, like, there's a risk. Give me a yes or no. Do you think that there's a risk that something bad could happen when you join the military? Give me a yes or no. Give me a yes or no. And so how many people every year join the military? Thousands, millions. I don't know. I'm sure millions of people over time have joined the military. I don't know how many soldiers we have. Let me see how many soldiers do we have in the United States? Let's see how many soldiers are in the U.S. 1.3 million active duty soldiers and another 865,000 in reserves. So of that 2 million people who made that conscious decision to sign up for the military, do you think that they were aware that signing up for the military involves a little bit of risk? What do you think? See, here's my problem with people that want to live life risk-free. That's bullshit, because life doesn't work that way. You can't live life risk-free. Everything you do, when you get up and you walk outside the door, there's a chance that bad things are going to happen to you. I have a friend who lived in Chicago who was driving down the street this week because all the police are pretty much like taking off from the job. And so she got carjacked, sitting at the light, like waiting at the stoplight. She got carjacked. The guy pulled out the car, punched her in the face, and took her car and drove away. Do you think that means she should stay home for the rest of her life? Because it's real. You know, it's real. When you like people were this summer, everybody's talking about defund the police, get rid of the police, abolish the police, replace them with what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you want no police, really? You really want to live in a world where there's nobody there to help you when somebody comes and tries to kill you and your kids? Good luck with that. So my point of the matter is to say that there's always risk. So you know, I get tired of hearing people when I take my family and we go on a trip. We've gone on 5-6 trips during COVID, during the whole pandemic. We've gone on trips. We went to Florida. We went to Mexico. We went to South America. We went all across the United States. I forgot wherever else we went. Atlanta, all kinds of places. And people are like, oh my God, be careful. You're going to die. Yeah. I'm a black man. I've always known that dying was a possibility. You know, black people die all the time, every day, over shit that could have been prevented. You do know that. You do know that every time you put a piece of fried chicken in your mouth, that the chances of death by fried chicken are quite high in the black community. Y'all do know that. You are aware of that, correct? Right? So I'm not sitting here trying to tell anybody to do what I do or to take advice from me. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just giving you a perspective. But you can't live your whole life as a pussy. Seriously, even if you have I know people that got, I know women that got pussies that are less pussy than some of the men I know. Seriously, you can't live your life as a wimp and scared and afraid and, oh my God, it's gonna be bad and bad. I'm not making fun of you. I promise you. Don't get traumatized if you think I'm ridiculing. I'm not ridiculing you. I'm just saying that risk is always a factor in everything you do. When you make an investment, when we talk about stocks and we talk about investing, you don't think there's risk in that? Yeah, there's a risk you could lose everything. But guess what? There's also a risk that something amazing can happen. You think about that, right? Yeah, when I go out of the house, there's a chance that something bad is going to occur. You know, but there's also a 99.9% chance that I'm going to be just fine. I'm not going to die from a virus. 99.9% chance I'm going to be okay. And I have, you know, military people in my family. My father was a soldier, my uncles, etc. And I saw military men and women going out into the battlefield, knowing that maybe there's only an 80% chance that they're going to come back alive, but yet they still do it anyway. You know, and so there are some people in this society who don't let fear incarcerate them, who don't want to live in the cage of fear. Now, if you're a person that wants to be afraid and doesn't want to move and wants to be scared of your own shadow and scared to do whatever, then that's fine. But there's some people who don't think that way. So when I look at NFL players, I don't look at it like, oh my God, you're playing football. You're so stupid. What's wrong with you? I look at it as, okay, you're fully aware of the risk, right? You're fully aware that in exchange for that $5 million a year, there is some chance that when you're 40 years old, you might not remember your Uncle Willie's name at the family picnic, right? You do know that, right? And if they say, okay, I'm cool with it, then I'm cool with it. If you're cool with it, I'm cool with it. Right. You know, because the thing is, there are some people who know how to stay alive, but they never get a chance to live. There are a lot of people that literally are among what I consider to be the walking dead. To me, if you ever want to be truly dead, live your whole life without taking any chances ever. That means if you ever think that a girl is not going to say yes when you ask her out, don't ask her out because you don't want to get your feelings hurt. If you think there's any chance that you won't succeed and get the job, then don't go to any job interviews. Don't ever apply for anything. Don't ever try to do anything. If you think there's a chance your business is going to fail, then stay broke. Stay broke. Broke is safety. Broke is security. Broke is predictability. If you got $0 in your bank account today, you're gonna have $0 tomorrow if you stay broke, right? Keep behaving like a broke person. So I'm gonna say that for those of you that don't want to live that way, there's a whole world out here that's full of possibility, but also full of downside. It's full of lots of upside and lots of downside. And one of the reasons that Black folks are so conservative and so afraid, like we don't really start many businesses relative to other communities, things like that, is because we're always thinking about the downside. We're always thinking about what can go wrong, how we can get hurt, how bad things can happen. And it's important to be aware of those things. But I've never lived that way. In fact, if I lived that way, I wouldn't be doing half of the shit that I'm doing right now. Most of the life that I have right now is due to the fact that I took some chances other people wouldn't take. So don't take advice from me, because I do take chances, because I do believe deeply in the universal risk reward ratio. So anyway, let's see here. Walt says that wasn't Tyreek Hill's first time getting in trouble for hitting someone while in college at Oklahoma State. He beat up his pregnant girlfriend. Yeah, if he keeps doing that, he's going to have some problems. So let's see here. We need to open Dr. B, like you said, our own Black sports league. Yeah, I agree, Tanya. We need a Black sports league. It's beyond time for that to happen. Never rooted for Brady, but I hope he wins the Super Bowl this year. Old school, never new school. Yeah, I like Tom Brady, actually. I think he's one of my favorite players to watch. I've been cheering for the Bucs the whole playoffs. I just don't think he's another Muhammad Ali. I think he's great, but he's not an Ali. Take away Brady's rings, and what does he have? Well, that's like saying take away a man's penis, and what's the size of his dick? Like, if you take away the penis, he has no dick, right? So you take away Tom Brady's championships, then he has nothing, right? So that wouldn't make sense. He hasn't been in trouble 4 years. This is old news with Tyreek Hill. Actually, I think he had something like last year. I could have sworn. I remember reading up on it. I'm not judging him for it. I think that if he is truly in, putting himself in bad situations, when it comes to the women around him, he needs to manage that. Because that's not cool. That's not going to, you might get away with it for a while, but the minute you're not the superstar anymore, it'll come back to get you. Let's see here. Is it really not possible for a group of wealthy brothers to own a league? Yeah, it's not about the money. It's about the mindset. Builders have a certain type of mindset. Builders tap into their ability to manifest. I told you that's like the God. That's the God in you. That's almost metaphysical. A manifester is a person who can see see a vision and say, this is what it's going to be. This is what we're going to create. This is what we're going to start. And a lot of us as Black people are not trained to have that manifest ability. We are trained to simply get on board with something that someone else has created. So we can see other people's visions bigger, before we can see our own. And it's a confidence thing. If you have no confidence in yourself, then you're going to believe that the white man's ice is colder, that his businesses are better, that his brands are more meaningful. You're not going to look at a Gucci and a Versace and say, oh, we could create the Black Gucci or the Black Versace. You're not going to do that. You're going to say, if I wear a Gucci belt, then I'll be a better person. I'll be more important if I put on this Versace. So you give them money to give you your self-esteem. You're letting them print money, basically, by presenting something to you that's worthless and convincing you that it actually has value. It's going to be Juwanna Mann in the WNBA soon. Yeah. Well, I heard that they're letting, like, basically, I mean, I'm not sure if this is right, but I heard that they're letting people compete with women if they just identify as a woman. Like, if I just say I feel like I'm a woman on the inside, I can go and like punch women in the face. And there was one MMA fighter who was in that category. I forgot her name. Go look it up. And she started identifying as a woman and started fighting women, and she cracked a woman's skull. Like, the woman who fought her said, I have never run into strength like that in my life. She said, I'm a very strong woman, but I've never run into a woman that was that strong. I never felt that overpowered in my life. And so, and there's another guy I saw who was a track athlete, and he was like a mediocre athlete as a man. Like, as a college athlete, he was like, okay, he was like Division III or whatever. And he just decided, like, hey, I'm gonna be a woman now. and he started competing. Look it up. He's like a hurdler or something. And he started competing with the women. He's like breaking national records and shit. Like, it's real interesting. Like, it's almost to the point where you probably need to have like just a separate category. Because what does you playing a sport have to do with you wanting to be a woman? Like, I don't get that part. Like, I don't get that. Like, why? I mean, you could put on a dress, like wear makeup, like do your thing. But when it comes to sports, I think that should be off limits. Sports should be just like, look, if you were born with a dick, you're a dude. If you were born with a vagina, you're a woman. That's it. But then what's interesting, though, is you get those peculiar cases like Caster Semenya out in South Africa. Have y'all seen her? They did the DNA or the test on her, whatever, and found that inside her body, she actually had testes that was generating testosterone, but she technically, physically was a woman. So, and she would go out there with the women and kill them, kick their butts, and then she'd get done. And she would do like real masculine stuff. Like, she'd be like, yeah, it was really funny to watch. And she would like just blow them all away, and all the women would be pissed off. And I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to think about that, but I am going to say that there will be a Joanna Man in the WNBA. And I'll tell you what, if I didn't have a problem, like the reason I wouldn't want to pretend to be a woman is because it would just be embarrassing, right? Because I like being a man. But if I didn't care, like if I was just a guy that just wanted to win, why not? Why not switch over and play, against, like I in high school when I used to run track and I used to have to run against the fastest dudes in the state, I would get really mad. I'd be like, man, if I was competing with the girls, I could be state champion. So I'm sure somebody's thinking that. Come on, really, seriously, that there's got to be people out there that are just plotting. Like, I can be a star. Like, I can get a scholarship. Like, you don't tell me. Think about this. There are people that pretend to be black to get scholarships. Some people even think Kamala Harris did that. Some people think, I don't know if she did it or not. But there are people. I know for a fact that a lot of people like of Indian background have done that. That's proven. Go look it up. And Rachel Dolezal, people like that. Because if you say you're black, you'll get scholarships and stuff. So if I can get benefits from pretending to be black, why wouldn't I try to do the same thing by, converting my gender, right? And making it more convenient. I don't know. I'm not judging. I just think that there needs to be more thought behind it. And there's not enough thought. So I'll tell you, I got daughters and I'm not letting my daughters play contact sports with a dude. Like, anybody on that field, everybody on that field better be a straight, straight female. I'm not straight in that way, but like a woman. Like, if you're not a woman, you will not be in a contact sport with my daughter, because you hurt her, I am going to have to fuck you up. Seriously, I don't care. How you identify. You hurt my child, we're gonna have a problem. So anyway, by the way, the Black Boss channel. If you like to hear commentary from black men, you should subscribe to the Black Boss channel. That's right there on the chat. Let's see here. Howard says Ali had the title wrongly stripped from him. Then he came back to win it. Yeah, Ali was the greatest. Ali was amazing. He transcends sports. We already talked about Brady and Ali. That's indisputable in my view. There's no way that Tom Brady can compete with Ali because Ali was more than an athlete. Let's see here. I love we compare Brady and Ali and not Jordan and Ali. You can't take away the greatness of Tom Brady. I think that Tom Brady could compete with Jordan, but I don't think he can compete with Ali because Jordan and Brady are both straight athletes, whereas Ali was something more than an athlete. Let's see. Lanza, is collegiate sports nationwide? They have allowed trans and transitioning people to participate in women's sports. Yeah, it ain't fair. It ain't fair. I mean, if I was a woman, I'd be so demoralized. It's such bullshit. Like Whitey is oppressing you. Let's see here. Biden is a puppet. Okay. What's good, Doctor? What's up, Travell? How you doing? Just think if Bruce Jenner did that back in the day. Well, Bruce Jenner was actually a great athlete for a man. I mean, if you look him up, Bruce Jenner was pretty amazing in the 1976 Olympics. You should go watch some old like YouTube clips of him. He was very impressive actually as an athlete. Vic, I want to be a trans dog. I feel like a dog. I want free housing, free snacks, and belly rubs. That sounds pretty good. Let's all be dogs today. Dr. Bart says you are a smart man. Well, thank you. Not everybody agrees with you, but I appreciate it. Let's see here. Can you fight, boys? If I have to, I'd rather not, but I could. We all gotten in fights at some point. Let's have a conversation. You're a white supremacist. You're not allowed. Okay. Race baiting subject. Stop it. Two different people play two different sports. Okay. Yeah. Is your mic on? Can you hear me? Give me a yes or no if you can hear me. Ali was willing to give up everything for his people. Yes, he was. That's what makes Ali special. Tom Brady never played defense. Yeah. Well, you can't give Brady credit for any of these wins without talking about the defense. That defense. Michael played defense. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Jaywalking happened in 1996. The doctor's name is Dr. Jamie Naughtright. There was a smear campaign launched against the victim. Peyton Manning is not a black athlete, so they protected him. Okay. Well, like I said, if there is if there's proof, I like proof. I'm a fan of proof. I'm trying to enter my business in the pitch competition. If you want to enter into our pitch competition, we do a pitch competition. Go get on our email list, and you can get on our email list and get a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar. If you go to allblackeconomics.com, that's allblackeconomics.com. There you go. It's right there on the screen. Let's see here. Dr. Boyce, do you think Michael Sam got a raw deal, or did he shoot his own self in the foot for coming out on national TV as first black gay NFL player? He never really played again. I don't know much. I think I remember that guy. He played in Missouri. I think that he was an okay player. I really believe that the NFL is rational enough that if you're good, they're going to get you on the field. I think that he was okay, but he got a lot of attention because he kissed his boyfriend when he got drafted and all that. And I think that it's your right to not get excited about all of that. Like, it's your right to kind of say, that ain't really my thing. Like, I don't really care what you do in the bedroom. I don't care who you do it with, and I felt like sometimes stuff gets thrown in people's faces, and that's what people don't like. People are like, man, I don't want to, come on, man. Like, let's talk about football, Now about, shooting himself in the foot and all that. I don't know. I don't know what would have happened to Michael Sam. I got the impression that he just wasn't that great. I think that there were enough people that wanted him to succeed, that if he were even halfway decent, he would have stayed on that field. That's just what I believe, but maybe I'm wrong. Because you're right. I mean, there are people that don't want to see that at all. And I'm not one of those people. I'm not a person that says you don't have a right to be who you are. I'm just a person who says, don't infringe on my right to be who I am. That's and I think it's my right to say that. I know it's my right. Can't compare Brady to Ali. That's like comparing sugar to gas. I agree. Where's the evidence? Good point. Good evening from Pine Tops, Dr. Boyce. What's up, Daryl Eiffel? How you doing, man? Tom Brady has been punished for creating. Okay. Chris, it's a team sport. Patrick Mahomes doesn't play defense neither. Yeah, well, Patrick Mahomes, I think Patrick Mahomes, if he does even half of what I think he can do, he's going to be the greatest quarterback ever. They showed this list of all these quarterbacks who were the only ones, I think Mahomes in the championship game, 3 years in a row or something. And they said that only, they had a list of quarterbacks who had done it. And these were like legends from the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and 90s who done it. And they said Patrick Mahomes is the only one who did it before the age of 26. None of those guys could do that before the age of 26. Patrick Mahomes is like a next generation, next level kind of quarterback, where he just does things that other quarterbacks can't do because he can throw the ball in these crazy ways and he can move his body and all this other stuff. The other quarterbacks can't do that. Tom Brady can't do that. Even Lamar Jackson can't do that. Like a lot of, maybe Russell Wilson kind of can do that, but not at the level. Mahomes is really special. He's really amazing to watch. How do I get the pitch? I went to the site allblackeconomics.com. Yeah, just get on the email list. When we're looking for people to pitch, we'll send the email out to that list. So if you're on the list, you'll get the email. We don't always need people for the pitch. We do a pitch competition once every week or two. We did do it every week, and then we had to take a couple weeks off, but we are going to do it again soon. So we'll let you know when we're ready to do the pitch competition. Let's see here. Looking at some of your questions. Sad to say, but the politics of the NFL, Michael Sams came out 10 years too early. Possibly. Sodomy is not for our people, period, says Fitness Guru. Well, I think that there has to be a way to kind of balance that conversation, right? Where you can say, look, I'm not here to marginalize or ostracize anybody. Just leave me alone. Let me just be. Let me raise my kids how I want to raise them. Let us deal with it the way we want to deal with it. And I think the problem with Eurocentric thinking is that white people kind of feel like they know everything. They feel like they have the right to tell us how to have every conversation, right? And because let's just keep it 100. You got people in your own family that maybe are not heterosexual. That doesn't mean they're not worthy of love. Atlanta is full of a lot of young boys who are HIV infected, who were completely rejected by their family because of this urge in their body that they cannot control. And I just think that that's the worst thing in the world. I could never stop loving my child or reject my child based on something like that. And my heart goes out to them. And I really think that we can have empathy for what they're going through, and and still stand our ground, but you can stand your ground without being an asshole about it. So it's like I'm not a fan of being oppressive, but I certainly stand up against being oppressed. And I felt that they were oppressing Black people and oppressing the Black church with the deliberate feminization of the Black man. Why would you put Billy Porter out here wearing a damn, mini skirt in front of all the men who are raising families and taking care of Black children and doing right by their community, who want to marry a Black woman? Well, that's an agenda. God damn it. I mean, you want your goal is, as Francis Chris Welsing said, your goal is to break the Black man down and to make sure that he's never, ever, ever a threat. And that's where I have to draw the line and say, no, I will challenge you. Like I am not just equal to you. I'm probably superior to you in certain ways. I mean, I'm smarter than 99.9% of all the white people I've ever met, and I'm pretty strong physically too. So to me, it's kind of like I can understand why you're threatened by me. And I hope that you'll also understand why I'm not going to be intimidated by you. And so I just think as Black people, we have to really think that through, so you can go through and fight your battle without just being ignorant, without being mean to people for no reason, or oppressing people, or making anybody who's gay feel terrible about who they. I just know people who are in that category, and some of them really love Black people and they really want to help out in the struggle, and they're getting rejected left and right. And I'm not into that. I'm not into rejecting people. That's just that, but that's just me. I'm not telling you how to be. I'm just giving you a perspective. So I hope that you'll consider that. So anyway, all right. So I gotta go. I hope you guys have a good night. It was fun talking to you, and this is cool. We're just talking a little shit about football and everything. And by the way, my book, you can get a free copy of my book at allblackeconomics.com if you want to. Feel free to go there, and also the blackbosschannel.com. You can subscribe there. That's where we do a lot of our Black male conversations because Black men need to be heard. And we created that platform so Black men could be heard, because Black men are speaking, and our voice is just as important as Kamala Harris. So when she says I'm speaking, we should listen. But when Black men in the community and Black women in the community are speaking, we should listen to that first. Because remember, Kamala Harris is great. She's on TV. She's working for Joe Biden. She's not raising a Black family. She didn't marry a Black man. She's not in the struggle. She doesn't put the Black community first. That makes her a different entity. Right? She's not as significant as the Black people that are right there in your family, in your community, in your space, that are in your struggle, that are putting your struggle first. So Black leaders are not the Negroes on TV. They are not the people who are, being promoted and getting votes from white people and money from white people and awards from white people. No, your Black leaders are your people right there in the struggle with you. The people that are right there with you saying, yeah, that's right. Let's go, brother. Let's go, sister. Let's get this done. Right. Those are your leaders. Those are your people. So don't worship these stupid people on TV. Whatever. They can do whatever they want to do. Kamala works for Joe Biden. She works for her white husband. She got her little white kids, children she's raising. And she's an AKA too, right? Give her credit for that. That's fine. If you want to ski-wee along with her, that's cool. But when it talks about really doing the work for the community, I'm not looking to people on TV. Just because a white person put you on TV, that does not make you my leader. In fact, that makes me more suspicious of you, because why would my oppressor support you? Why would somebody who hates me put you in front of me and then expect me to love you when the person who hates my guts loves you to death? That doesn't make no sense. So use our heads. All right. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. I'm out of here. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Be good.